So, since you are patients at Chappaday Indian Health Services, just due to HIPAA protection, I won't have you say your first or last name, but we'll do a little bit of a meet and greet. You can tell me your due date. When is your due date?
Oh, it's August 20th.
Okay. Do you know if you're having a boy or a girl?
It is a girl.
And have you picked a name?
Luna.
Luna. And your first daughter is
Sadie.
I love Sadie. And what has been your favorite thing about this pregnancy?
That I have received a lot of help from my partner and the doctors at Chappaday. You know, like you, who have helped me whenever I have a question.
And is there anything in this pregnancy that you feel you want it to go differently than your first?
I just want to get educated on pregnancy because at first I was young and I didn't know other options that I had for like the hospital and stuff.
Okay.
Or what I need at the hospital.
And if you had one, is there any question that you have any questions about that you want to make sure gets answered by the end of this course? If you can't think of anything,
Not right
sure,
now,
but
but
just
I will
feel
ask.
free to ask as questions arise. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the third trimester, discomforts, exercise, changes in the body, emotional changes. So we're going to get started with that. Watch a little bit of a slideshow. And after I figure out my technical difficulties. So, the program that I'm using is called Understanding Birth. It's a great educational video. I've attended the class before. I found it really helpful. It comes with a booklet that has the same information that we're going to watch on the video, and it has you can go to their website and it'll have ways that you can access in a free redemption code that you'll be able to watch extra videos. If you really want to watch 10 more birth videos, this is going to give you that. Or if you're feeling, a little bit like you zoned out for a minute and you missed something, at least you have a way of going back and referencing.
Pregnancy lasts about 40 weeks and is divided into 3 trimesters. Let's focus on the third trimester. It starts at week 28 of your pregnancy and ends with the birth of your baby. During these final weeks, your baby continues to grow and develop. When you are between 39 and 41 weeks, your pregnancy is considered full term and your baby is ready to be born. If you haven't had your baby by 42 weeks, you're considered post-term, which is also normal, but your healthcare provider will probably keep a closer eye on you and your baby. 4D ultrasound images like this one give us a glimpse at what babies can do during the third trimester. As this baby rubs her eyes, you'll see that she already has her own unique facial features. In this next ultrasound, watch as she licks her arm. These mouth and tongue movements help her learn how to feed. And here she's practicing how to move her hands and fingers. While it looks like your baby is ready to greet the world, he needs a little more time. Babies born from the 37th week to the end of the 38th week are considered early term. Early term babies are still at a greater risk for breathing, feeding, and other medical problems. It's usually healthiest for the baby to be born at 39 weeks or later. During the final trimester of pregnancy, your baby's brain continues to develop. In fact, it practically doubles in size, and adds brain cell connections needed for balance, coordination, and learning. Also, your baby's lungs are still forming, and he's gaining the fat that will help him stay warm once he's born. So even though you may be uncomfortable, be patient. The health of your baby is worth the wait.
So we'll go over some of the basic anatomy, basic changes. This will also give us a better idea of the changes before pregnancy, after pregnancy. As you can see, this is definitely why the heartburn kicks in, especially during this last trimester. Look at the weight on your bladder, which is why we have to get up and go to the bathroom. But I like to say that, it's your basic training this last trimester, getting you ready for those every hour and a half feedings that you're going to have to do. So we'll watch a little bit of that.
It's helpful to understand what's happening inside your body during the third trimester as it prepares for labor. This animation shows a pregnant woman ready for birth with her full-term baby positioned head down. Your baby lives inside of your uterus. This is a strong balloon-shaped muscle that contracts during labor. The bottom part of your uterus is called the cervix. A mucus plug fills the cervix to protect your baby from the outside environment. Your cervix opens into the vagina or birth canal. It's through this passageway that your baby enters the world. The placenta is an organ that forms early after conception and grows into the wall of the uterus. It makes pregnancy hormones, delivers oxygen and nutrients from you to your baby, and removes waste from your baby's blood. The umbilical cord allows your baby's blood to travel to and from the placenta. Growing out from the placenta is the bag of waters, or amniotic sac. The amniotic fluid inside the sac cushions your baby in a comfortable, warm environment.
I also have before labor begins. This is what it looks like. A closer view, just a different view of once again, all the pressure in your bladder, reasons why it's hard to have small meals, the heartburn, all that stuff that you go through.
Is that why my hips hurt so bad?
We're going to talk about that. It definitely has to do with the pelvis. So, as you know, this is a pelvis. We know what this is. So normally our pelvis sits. Some people think that our pelvis sits like this, but it actually sits like this. So in pregnancy, we have progesterone and estrogen, and especially hormones just running through our body. Definitely increases in the third trimester. And with that, it starts getting, our pelvis starts to shift and starts to become unstable. All these hormones are it's all getting ready for childbirth and to open up for the baby to come through your pelvis. And so it becomes unstable. I don't want to say it becomes wobbly, kind of unstable. I don't know if you've had problems where you go to get up, but your leg moves, but you feel like your pelvis is just not going to go anywhere. Yeah. That's just all due to everything becoming unstable.
Could it be able to pop? Crack?
Well, you'll hear pops. There are some exercises that you can do to help open it up. Squatting is one of the best and helpful things, but I don't think that anyone feels like squatting when they're 39 weeks of pregnancy. But you are at 29 weeks,
Yes.
almost 30 weeks.
Almost.
So it's always a good idea if squatting is comfortable and you're able to do that. But there's also, you can also lean over a table. And this is one of those exercises, just as like, let's say you're just talking to your husband at the kitchen counter. There's things that you can do to kind of help relieve that and kind of have it open up so that it's like becomes loose. It's almost like just oiling your ligaments, your joints, kind of keeping them really lubricated. And if you lean over a table and you just do the rocking side to side, this reminds me of an elephant. You know, just the rocking side to side. And I also like to tell pregnant women, it's also kind of, this is the rock you're going to do when the baby comes.
Yeah.
So anything, and so it's really interesting how Mother Nature works that way because it's the same swaying side to side, but if you lean over a table, it'll help loosen up that, and you won't have that feeling of the pain of the, you know, like it's going to come out. It just becomes really unstable. And
Just wondering what that was.
the ball is also a great thing.
The ball.
If you can't squat, using the exercise ball and just like swinging side to side. The ball, you're going to use the ball through labor, pre-pregnancy, and after labor. They come in really handy for when you're rocking the baby at night. But those will really help open everything up and become just more comfortable and loosen everything up. Okay. And then here we talk about the, you know, changing your breast size, your uterus, and how it stretches and opens up. Stretches and opens up, sorry. How it stretches and grows.
Yeah.
Getting ahead of myself talking about the cervix already. Lungs, diaphragm, stomach, and bladder are compressed at 37 weeks, and that's what increases the heartburn and the breathing. As you get farther along in the third trimester, when the baby drops, the baby starts to descend, then you're going to feel the relief. It usually happens a couple weeks before going into labor that you'll feel like all of a sudden you can breathe better because the baby starts dropping. You'll be able to breathe better, eat a little bit more.
Where is the placenta located? Where is it supposed to be?
Placenta on this, let me see, do I have a little arrow? My arrow not showing it. Here, let me show you right here. My little one. Right here.
Oh, okay.
On this one,
For my ultrasound, they said I had it higher. So they're like, maybe you might not be feeling too much kicks.
yeah. So what they mean by if it's higher, it means it's more in the front right here. So it's kind of in between the baby and your stomach.
Oh, okay.
Whereas if you were feeling the kicks, see this placenta is low. So this one, you can see that if the baby was kicking, you're going to feel all the kicks up high. But if the placenta is blocking it, sometimes that's why you don't feel strong kicks. You feel the baby moving, but you don't feel like the strong kicks, or your belly doesn't
Go sway a lot.
sway a lot. I don't know if you remember that with your first one.
Yeah, totally.
And but it can move. It can shift down. As the baby grows, it's going to move down a little bit more. But yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say that has a better picture of
Yes.
than the screen does. Which is why I brought my little handout posters. And then this one talks a little bit about healthy nutrition. I think I'm going to go ahead and you're far enough along that I'm going to kind of we won't watch this video. But we will touch base on the 300 calories a day. That's all you need in pregnancy. I know it's tempting to think that you have to eat for two, but it's always really important. In my experience, helping women through labor and delivery through labor is if they really keep to the like minimal weight gain in pregnancy, the standard 25, 35, even 45 pounds in pregnancy, they tend to be just a little bit easier to move around, easier to change positions, because you remember any kind of extra weight that you're going to be carrying is going to kind of be a handicap when you want to move and change positions and for your stamina. So 300 calories a day is what's recommended. And this just kind of gives you an idea of which would you rather have. Although I know sometimes it's better that you would want to have the whole hamburger, but at least it gives you a good idea. Let's see, and I showed you the